Hopefully this thing works this time. Let's hope this thing works. Hello guys. Hello Yvonne. This is our weekly live event where I answer all of your personal finance and your business questions. Feel free to ask any questions regarding your real estate, taxes, insurance, personal finance, investing, whatever you want to know, I'll be happy to help. Again, sorry for all the technical difficulties. It's outside of my control. But finally it works. How's it going, guys? How you going, Lawrence? Disney or Netflix? I don't watch either, to be honest. So again, any real estate, personal finance, credit questions, I'll be happy to ask. As always, anyone who goes live on the requests to go live with me, they get their answers answered first, and then I go through the DMs and answer those questions. So a little bit about my background. I have an accounting firm, I have an insurance agency, I have a real estate investment company, I have a property management company. So any questions regarding building wealth, starting from the bottom and what steps to take to make it on your journey to personal financial freedom, I'll be happy to answer. So I'm going to go through the questions. Hello, Yvonne. What's up, Jose? What's up, Cooley? What's up, Harris? Yes, it finally works. Devin, what's up? Nish, what's up? It's going good, Lawrence. How you doing? All right. Dave jumped right in with the question. It says, how much of your own money are you using on your deals? I'm actually using all of my money. I don't have any outside investors. I do get loans, right, for my properties, but otherwise I'm using all my own money. I am considering taking on investors for my future deals because I want to start doing like 300 unit projects and bigger stuff. But right now I'm doing like 10 unit deals and I can fund them myself. Again, when I started, I didn't have any money. So I started with like nothing and I worked my way up. I've been doing it for 15 years now. So now I'm on a level where I can do these bigger deals and not really need much help. How do you start investing in stocks? I mean, investing in stocks is not hard, to be honest with you. But again, you have no control over your stocks. You just try to pick a good stock, and the less well-known it is, the more odds of it can go up or down. So for your rate of return. The good within real estate is you have control over your investment, so you can help push it up and appreciate faster. It's called force appreciation. I'm big about that. And that's how I make all my money. I make the property go up in value, and that's how I make all my money. Great question. What's up, Yvonne? What's up, everybody? Yeah, there's not really much time for TV. I do watch I do watch Suits. That's probably the only show I watch right now. But I'm already on season 9. It's almost over, and then I'm back to my books. David says, how much of your... Oh, I already answered the question. All right. Okay, so Ray said he wants to know how I bought my first deal. So I basically saved up money, and then when I found the deal, and FYI, it wasn't a great deal, but in real estate, the good thing about that is that the asset appreciates over time. Your loan goes down in value over time, so your equity grows and grows and grows. So you make money that way. You also get tax deductions. You can save money that way, and you also make money from the rent. So even though I make a lot of money in appreciation, I made it in other ways. But I basically saved up enough money for your down payment, put down the down payment. The bank put up the rest of the money, and then I was able to rent it out. And I rented one side and I lived in one side. And then after about a year, I moved out and rented both sides out. So it was a great thing to do. And then I went and bought another one. And after a year, another duplex. duplex means a 2-family home. So you get 2 people paying you rent for your property. It's a great way to invest. Igor says, any tips for someone starting out in real estate? I'm in the process of closing on a 3-family. Appreciate any insight. So Igor, that's a great thing. Make sure that you interview everybody you're renting to. If you don't feel comfortable with the person, like they just don't logically think the right way, then I wouldn't rent to them. Like if their inside of their car is dirty, that means they're going to make the inside of your house dirty. If they don't have enough money to cover their bills, they're not going to have enough money to pay your rent. It's pretty simple. Like it's not anything crazy. So if you don't want their problems, then don't rent to them, because that's what you're doing. One thing someone told me about tenants is this, is all of your tenants become basically your family members. So if you don't want to inherit all those family members' problems, you want to be very picky on who you rent to. And that's really important. Other than that, buy location. When you're picking your real estate, location is key, because you can get a property with a ridiculous return on investment, but you can upgrade the building as much as you want, but you cannot upgrade the area. You want to go into the area that's getting upgraded by multiple groups of investors, and then you are upgrading that building, right? You're adding to what's being already added to. And that movement from all of these investors, you can create a wave that's going to be beneficial to the area, and you will profit from it. It is very difficult for a small investor to create a wave. And you want to ride the wave to wealth, you have to go in with the wave. You can't just go into the worst part of town and say it's super cheap and I'm going to make a lot of rent in this cap rate and I'm going to change it. Yeah, it's hard to change that pendulum. It's hard to change the swing of the negativity of the area, and you're just going to inherit a lot of the negativity. It's unfortunate. Unless you're a big boy, you can't really make a big wave and make a change happen to an area. Thanks for all the love, guys. I appreciate it. Matt says, what's up, brother? Like the tree in the back. Thank you. I don't care. I'm one of those guys that I love Christmas. I love the positive vibes. And I'm not a big gifts and all that other stuff. I just like the positive message and the love and all that good stuff. So that's what I'm about, What's up, Ray? Yvonne says, so what's the first step? First step, and I'm being serious. I'm not going to bring it back. I'm back into powerlifting now. I was out for about 10 years. And now I started Wing Chun martial arts. And everything the basics are really important. The first step is you need to study. You can't just go and do any of these functions without any practice. And a lot of the practice is in your mind. You have to review deals, look at the deals, make believe you're going to do them. And you have to act like, what would you do if you actually owned this property? How would you buy the property? How would you structure the loan? How much could you rent it for? Do some research. Make believe you're going to rent it. Act. Keep doing it. Practice. So when you actually do it, you're ready. I ran hundreds of deals before I did my first deal because I just couldn't afford it when I started. And eventually I built it up and I was able to do it. So when you're running those scenarios, right, you always run scenarios to see what's going to happen. And it's the same deal. Now I'm running scenarios for multi-million-dollar deals. I'm not doing 50-unit deals and 300-unit deals, but I plan to be doing it shortly. Right now I'm only doing 10-unit deals. But when I'm running 50-unit deals and consistently doing that, I will know what's a good deal. I'll know how to structure the deal. I'll know how to do it. by the practice that I'm putting in on paper. And you need to do the same thing. When you're running those numbers and you're testing a market and you're seeing what is the market good for, you'll know what it's worth. So then you don't have to go and second guess yourself and figure out what you want to do or how you want to do it. You'll know what to do when the time is right. So you must run it on paper. You must practice. You must check what the market rent is. And when you do that, I promise you, you're going to be so thankful later. And you're going to be very happy that you put in the work. Great question, Yvonne. Again, guys, whoever goes and requests to go live on the IG, I answer those questions first, and then I'll go through the DMs. So, and plus, you'll get a more in-depth answer from me that way. Waiting for the request to join. What's up, Dave? What's up, guys? What's up, Harris? Buffum says, do you finance all at one time when you buy real estate or you take out a loan? I take out a loan on each deal that I do. So each deal I do, I take out a separate loan. I don't have a package loan. Now I've owned one property for like 12 years, I'm going to say. And then I've owned 4 buildings next to each other. So I took up a package loan of those 4 buildings that I've owned for a very long time, just because it made sense to do at that time. But normally, as I buy each deal, I take a loan. All right, that live didn't go through. What's up, Robert? Lauren says, should you pay off old debt before moving forward towards financial goals? If you're referring to like credit card debt, yes. Pay off the credit card debt. Those 18 to 25% interest rate credit card loans are holding you back. Pay them off ASAP. Look at the high interest rate credit card from 18 to 25, and whichever one has the lowest balance, pay that off. Pay it off. It is holding you back. You are a slave to that debt. You need to get rid of it. And then from there, you can keep like really low interest rate credit cards. You can keep really low interest rate home loans because it's like cheap money. All right, I already talked about my first deal. How did you start? Did a real estate investor help you? So no one like technically helped me, but I was talking to someone and they were mentioning to them their deal, how they bought a condo, and how it was like this. They told me that they bought a condo, and I was like, oh, okay. And they told me they bought the condo for like $40,000. So this is back like 20 years ago. And I was like, oh, you paid cash? And they're like, no, I only put down like some money and the bank paid for the rest. I was like, wait, you only put down like 20% of the money and the bank paid for the rest? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, wow, I didn't know that they would do that. And he said, yeah. And then he was explaining to me that he then rented the property out to a tenant. So I was like, let me get this straight. I was 14 at the time. I said, let me get this straight. You are buying a property, the bank's giving you 80% of the money, and then a tenant is renting the property from you for more than what you owe on the loan and all your expenses, so you keep the difference. So someone's paying you to borrow your stuff, and you make money off of it. And the answer was yes. And that idea I fell in love with, because I love collecting stuff, and I love the idea of someone paying me to borrow my stuff is awesome. So that's how I fell in love with real estate. So when I found that out, I would then talk to different people in the credit world, and I really learned credit. And I talked to people about taxes, and I understood taxes. And then I worked for the bank, and I eventually worked up to be a banker. So then I really understood loans. So then I took credit, taxes, loans, and from different people, I picked their brain regarding real estate. understood that market and how just slightly how it worked. At that point, I was like, done. I'm gonna do it, and then I pulled the trigger. I didn't get a doctorate degree in this stuff. I learned enough to be dangerous, and then I acted. Because from your action, you're gonna learn. Listening and reading all day is not gonna help you. These videos I put online is gonna make you 1% better, 1% better, 1% better, which is gonna increase your profitability and increase your confidence. And that's what my goal is for you guys to be better than I was when I started. And for you to do better and smarter decisions along the way so you're not wasting money, and so more money goes into your pocket and you get wealthier and wealthier. That is my goal. But I can't make you pull the trigger on a deal. And you're not going to pull the trigger on a deal unless you get confident. And you won't get confident unless you run deals. Now, sometimes you can pay people to help run deals for you, right? You could pay, money, and someone will help you run a deal and help you come to an assessment to see, is this a good idea? But at the end of the day, you're not going to learn unless you do it. And even if you decide, I will never buy a deal on my own, I'd rather partner with someone and let them do it and I just be the cash partner, you should still do it, because then you'll know what's a good deal. So if someone brings you a bad deal, you'll know if it's a bad deal. So great question. How do you know how much appreciation you can force in a property? Great question. That's a very, very good question. So I'm going to answer that question, and then I'm going to get to the people that are asking to go live. You can compare it to the other properties in the area. So if you see you're buying this one property, and this one property is not remodeled, and the rents are low, and there are 4 2-bedroom, 2-bath units. You see another 4-bedroom, 4-unit property that's 2-bed, 2-bath, and they are collecting $300 more a month in rent than you are. And you can see that they should be selling $1,200. The calculation is $15,000 per $100. So if they're collecting $15,000, $180,000, so they should be valued, and their sale price should be $180,000 more than Unit A that is not remodeled, or Property A that's not remodeled. So if Property B sold, Property B should sell for $180,000 more if it is remodeled than Property A. So what your goal should be is buying Property A for not only less than $180,000 in this one, but it should be also less than the value of the cost of repairs. So say it's going to cost you $50,000 to repair it, to bring it up to this same quality. So you should buy this under $230,000 less than this one. And every dollar less than you buy it, under $230,000, is profit in your pocket. So normally, this is a significant difference. An example, this would be a property more like in Miami than a property in other areas. This is, so normally this property in Miami would probably sell for like $1 million. So your goal would try to buy this property for under $750,000. Sometimes you can get these properties for as low as $500,000 because they're in bad shape. You buy for $500,000, you spend $50,000, $60,000 to upgrade it. You're in for $560,000, and you now are worth $1 million, and you built that equity. You built all that extra profit. Even if you bought it for $750,000, put in $50,000, you still built $200,000 in equity of profit. So you could immediately sell it and make $200,000 after upgrading the property and putting in higher paying tenants. And that is where you force appreciation and build value. So that's what I do. I buy properties that are beat up in an area of time that's nice, that is getting less rent than the area is paying because people want nicer places. So what do? You fix it up. You give the people exactly what they want, that you give the consumer what they want, and then you get paid more money because you gave them exactly what they were asking for. And that's how you make money by forcing appreciation. What state do I reside? I reside in Florida. Did I have a mentor? No, I didn't have a mentor, but I had multiple different people that I spoke with, and they gave me advice in each little area. Now with my videos, you can see like I will give advice about credit. I'll give you advice about savings. I'll give you advice about finding deals. I'll give you advice on how to do construction. So I know all the different parts of the project and how to become successful in each section. And each of those different sections that I've learned and honed my skills were from different mentors that I'm basically giving you info that I learned from them. David wants to go live. Let's see what question he has.
Yeah, what up?
David,
What up?
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good.
Very
What
nice.
questions do you have for us today?
What questions do I have for you? So, this is my question. I was listening to your live video. It's my first time ever listening to your live video, and I heard that you sell properties once you fix them up. Is that right?
No. Well, let me clarify. Sometimes.
Okay, sometimes. All right. Yeah.
Like most of my properties I keep for 10, 15 years. I started when I was 19.
So you refinance them and then rent them out to your tenants and have them pay the mortgage?
Sometimes I don't refinance.
Okay.
But to answer your question, you're correct. I buy the property, I upgrade the property. Some of them are already rented.
Yeah.
Right? They're already rented, and they continue renting them and just collect the rent. And as time goes on, I slowly upgrade them. Now I do it differently. I have a lot more money than I did when I started when I was 19. So now I'll buy a property and I'll do a heavy remodel. I'll do a significant remodel. And now the last property, if you watch my IG account, the most recent one I bought is a 9-unit property. That 9-unit property cost me almost $1 million, and it was all empty. And I'm remodeling all 9 of them: electrical, plumbing, AC, cabinets, granite, kitchens, bathrooms, everything.
Yeah. So this is my other question. So I'm actually 19 as well. I live here in Texas, San Antonio, and I'm a realtor as well. I've been in the investing side for like 8 months now. But I want to flip my first property, right?
Mm-hmm.
By myself. I'm flipping one currently with a partner. But we're going 50-50. It's a house. It's not any multifamily. It's just a regular house, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going 50-50 on it, but I've got another one that's a pretty good deal, right? That I'm looking to get funding for, right? 100% funding. I want, I want to get hard money to purchase a property and then private on the other end, right? Or try and fund it, because all my money is tied up. I'm helping fund this flip that I'm doing with my buddy, and then I've got a little bit of cash myself. But how would you go about that?
So, I mean,
I saw your.
I'm a lender.
I saw it said lender. That's why I was reaching out.
Yeah. So like normally, even like if you're good, you can get hard money lender to give you 90% of the purchase and 90% of the remodel.
Yeah.
So you only need, so say it's a $200,000 for purchase and remodel, you only have to put in $20,000 plus closing costs. So then you said you're gonna get hard. Then you're gonna get like private money for the other 20.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
What I would say is this: real estate is a team game. It doesn't seem like a team game, but it's definitely a team game. So if you have people that are willing to front the money for you, do not be afraid to cut them in on the deal and let them make money. There's going to be lots of deals coming all the time, and it's better for you to have people on your team and on your side than you to be like, you know what, I want to keep, an extra 20,000, because the worst thing is for you to do is to be caught and be stuck up here with debt. and not be able to move out of it. So I feels a certain way, like you're like, oh, I want to cut everyone out of it and try to make as much money as possible.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. More deals will come, and you'll make money. But making partnerships is worth way more than money, because a good partner will make you more money than you pocketing whatever.
Yeah,
now, if you're a bad partner,
yeah,
that's a different situation.
So I've got one right now that I'll explain the situation and tell you, so you can. So I find the deals, right?
Yeah.
I'm finding the contractors, managing everything. I say the only thing. It's the second most important thing, is they're bringing in the money, right? And it's not even their own personal money. They're getting the loans. You know what I mean?
You're getting what, the hard money loan?
Yeah, so I'm actually with a buddy right now that I found this deal, right? I wholesale. I found this deal, and I couldn't get the loan, the hard money loan, because I had no experience. It was our first one, right?
Okay.
No experience. And he has several properties, so he was able to get the loan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of the money, like the closing, he was able to get. We were getting it for 125, and he got 100 loan, and then he got 25 from private money, right?
And where is he getting this private money from?
A friend of his. Okay. So, and we're going 50-50, right? I know that I can find a better partnership. Are you still there, or did it freeze up?
Right. I'm listening. Yeah.
Okay. I want to find a better partnership than going 50-50. I find the deal and I do the work. You know what I mean?
Okay.
If he did the work, the deal is the most important thing.
The deal is the most important thing, but let me ask you this: how much money is in this deal?
How much money? What do you mean by that?
What's a profit when the deal's done and you're selling it?
Oh, this is a simple wholesale deal. It's gonna be like 30,000.
Okay. So I want you to think of it this way, right? I have no money in this deal, and how you cut it doesn't affect me at all. But I want you to give you another perspective. You finding the deal, okay?
Yes.
You finding the deal normally is only worth $5,000 on a $30,000 profit. So if someone wholesaled this deal, it's only worth $5K.
Okay.
Right? All right. Project manager, general contractor, normally is 10 to 30% on a deal of the cost of the remodel.
Okay.
I'm going to say that's another $5,000. So you got $5,000 for finding the deal. You got $5,000 for property managing the deal. And then you got another $5,000.
Yeah.
So currently, you're in a good position. Because let me ask you this, if you think about it.
I'm not in a good position? Is that what you said?
You are in a good position.
Oh, I am in a good position.
Because you got more money than if you just flipped it.
Yeah, but right now, I've got, I'm trying to find more deals. You know what I mean? So that's where I want my time. I want my time instead of the properties like an hour from where I live. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, my time's more important. That's why I'm like, maybe he brings the money and does the deal. That's why the next prop, I've got another one. It's a 210 after repair. I got it for 105. And it needs like 35. That's cool. The one I want to go. It's cosmetic repairs, updating fixtures, etc. That's why I want to go in on my own, right? Because if I do 50-50, and make like 60,000 or something, and I have to split, that's why I'm like, I saw your thing at Sublender. That's why I wanted to reach out and see if you're willing to do like a 33-66. You know what I mean?
If the thing is if anyone's in the Tampa Bay area and they find a deal, 100%, and I'll even do the remodel work myself.
Then I'll be in Tampa Bay tomorrow, man.
Yeah.
I plan on going to Florida. I live here in San Antonio, Texas. But
Florida's a good market. Texas is a good market. Arizona's a good market because the laws are written in the landlord rights.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to tell you is this: you're in a great position. I'm gonna be honest with you. And should you try to make your position better? Yes.
Yes.
But the worst case scenario is this: if you didn't have him, you wouldn't be able to get the deal. So it's not a bad position to be in, you know. So I would say, yeah, I get what you're trying to say, and I agree with you. But you could always, worst case scenario, if you really don't want to spend your time managing the project, hire someone to manage the remodel and pay them 5,000, and then be like, hey, that's a cost of the business, and then you got 25,000. You split that half and half, 12,500
Yeah.
for each of you, and then you don't gotta waste your time doing that, you know.
So what do
And
you do? What do you? I know I heard you say like multifamilies. Is that what you like specialize in?
so what I do is I flip houses. So if, like, and I don't really look for houses. Like if something finds me, I'll buy it.
So
So
what do you look for?
I hold multi units.
Okay.
So what I do is I Burr method multi units.
Yeah. Smart. Smart. So did you start off with single family?
No, I went straight to duplexes because when I ran the numbers, so what happened is when I ran the numbers on multi-unit on single families, and I said, say I'm going to flip it. Well, first I looked at renting it. When I looked at renting it, you're like making almost no money. So I was like, that's a waste of time. And I looked at condos first,
Yeah.
and I was like, that's a waste of time. Then I looked at single family. I'm like, that's a waste of time. And then I looked at flipping single family, and I'm like, by the time you pay the taxes and everything else, it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Because if I hold a multi-unit for 1 year, I pulled almost the same profit as flipping a single family. Because normally the sick returns you're talking about, they're not that common. I mean, at least from what I've found. Now, if you find me one, hey, that's awesome. I'll be more than thankful. But most of the time, I can pull a great return off of holding a multifamily. So I'm
Yeah.
like, and the taxes are nothing because when you do depreciation. So I'm like, it doesn't make any sense in my opinion. So I just kept on buying I bought a duplex basically every year. I worked my full-time job as at the bank. I
So
worked
is
as a,
that how you were able to buy your duplexes? Because you had like a regular job and they financed it?
yeah, I worked at the bank as a teller. I was a
Okay. Yeah.
teller at the bank. I started working for like $8 an hour, and I worked a bunch of hours, saved up a bunch of money, and then I worked my way up to in about a year. I worked up to being a personal banker. I was making like $12 an hour, and
Yeah.
then I was able to qualify for a duplex, and
Very
that was a
nice.
$140,000 property, and
So
one
you put
side was paying rent.
you put three and a half down FHA?
Actually, my first deal, I put down 20%
Why was that? Just to not pay like the
because I was very like, okay, if I was gonna change it, I would do FHA.
yeah.
But when I started, I was crazy conservative,
Okay.
so I put down 20%,
So let
and
me ask you this, what does crazy conservative have to do with putting 20 and 3.5%? You know, if you were
because
crazy,
you keep out FHA, you don't pay the PMI, interest rates lower, and then so your monthly payment is so small that in my mind I could, even if I had no tenants at all, I could make that payment. If I had 100% vacancy, I could make it on my own.
okay.
So again, I came with an immigrant mindset because
Well,
all of the
where are you from?
Syria.
Syria, okay.
Yeah, so all of the people that I went with were like, loans are the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
And I learned that that's not how you play in America. If you're gonna play
Yes.
by the American system, you get loans conservatively.
Yeah.
So now, and I finally figured that out and I understood it. So anyway, I was like, so I put down the 20%, didn't pay PMI. My payment was like $600 a month. Taxes and insurance, I was at like $900 a month. So I was like, it's nothing for me. And then one tenant was paying me 600 at that time, you know. So and then I was
And
using the other side
why didn't you go for a fourplex? Why did you do a duplex?
because that's what I found initially.
Okay. And
That's what I found initially.
did you find it like on the MLS or did you just find
MLS,
okay.
MLS. Again,
So why did you do that? I mean, why did
I
you
didn't
go
know.
to the
Again, I'm trying to teach everyone what I did not know. I
okay.
didn't know. I did not know. right?
Yeah.
And I'm able to get this far with what I knew. The side of the business I knew very well was credit, tax returns, and the finance side.
Okay.
So I'm able to structure deals like
That's a very important side. I mean, the finance side.
that's a different side of the animal, right?
Yeah.
Like you can be the best at finding off market deals, but if you can't structure deals, like I'm amazing at structuring deals. Like the 9-unit I bought, empty, right? I got a bank to give me a 25-year amortized loan and to cover purchase plus remodel. Not a hard money lender, a bank. And they only
Yeah.
charge me 5.5%. How sick is that?
Yeah.
Right?
Very
It's a
nice.
sick deal, right? No one has a deal like that. But I know
Yeah.
how to structure deals. I know how to sell the deal. And I know how everyone can win. So it's a different side, and I learned that side. I can speak banker.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a different skill set. So
Yeah.
anyway, I maximized on my skills, and it worked out well. Again, 19 I bought one, 20 I bought another duplex,
nice.
21 I bought a 7-unit with only
Wow.
10% down.
Wow.
Right, I bought a 7-unit property with only 10% down.
7-unit property for 10. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah,
So
and I was at like a 4% interest rate.
Okay. Very nice. Well, yeah, man. Then like you said, I've got to, keep partners, right? Until I get enough money, and then.
And this is the thing. Think of it this way, though. Even if you had $100,000 and you get very good at finding deals,
Okay.
it is better for you to have partners and for you to do 4 deals than for you not to have any partners and for you to do 1, maybe 2 deals.
Okay.
Because if you can work out the relationship with the partners where they're helping you with the money, cash flow is very important to keep your deals moving. So you could probably negotiate the deals out where you're like, okay, I'm going to get the loans in my name now since you have 2 to 3 deals done in shown in my portfolio.
Yeah.
I just need 20, 30 grand from you. And I'll give you 25% or 30% profit for this. You just keep on, and you keep pumping it through. And then you give up another 10, 20% to someone else that's managing the project for you that you can trust.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now not only are you you're not wholesaling the deal, you're keeping the wholesale cut to yourself and you're keeping another cut for having all these partners.
Yeah. Yeah.
You make way more money by having a lot of partners. You win if you, I learned this in the finance side. If you can make the county win by the taxes, you can make the bank win by the interest rate, you can make everybody else win, the tenants win, the city win, everyone win. As long as you can make everybody win, you can win.
Yeah.
And that's if you just change your thing and say, how can everybody else win? Then you're going to get a big bag of money. It's going to come, right? And then if you find a deal and you're like, wow, I can't make everybody win, then you know it's a bad deal. Because if you can only make a couple of people win, there's not enough money in there for everybody. So it's a bad deal.
Yeah.
So if you look at it that way, how can everybody win? Then you'll be a big winner.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It sucks to think about, right? Because it's like I'm doing all the work, I'm doing everything, but in reality, it's like the truth. You know what I mean?
Don't one thing that I think Rockefeller said this. He says, for a man that does more than what he is paid for, soon he'll be paid more than what he does. So don't think that today I'm busting my ass and I'm not getting what I'm worth. The one thing right now that I learned, I have multiple businesses. I have an accounting firm that specializes in real estate investment, and I handle clients across the world, not just the States, but other countries too. I do their taxes and bookkeeping. I have an insurance agency. There's all these different companies. The longer I wait for my company to make a profit, the longer I wait, the bigger the check comes when I start making money. It sounds crazy.
The longer you wait, the bigger the check comes. Well, I mean, I hope that's the truth. You know, I'm gonna make it to
It's a
the
fact because
truth.
every single business that I've had, the longer I've waited. So, for example, my first insurance agency took, 2 years to become profitable. The next
Yeah.
one took 1 year. This one, I'm taking 3 years to make it profitable. But once it passes to profitability, it's going to be significant. It's going to be huge. Well, Facebook still doesn't pull a profit.
Yeah, for sure.
Still doesn't pull a profit but why is it worth so much money? Because everybody knows, the investors know, once it pulls a profit, it's going to be so sick and so powerful, no one can compete with it. And that's why the value is there. They can see the vision and that's where the money's at. So you can see that your own personal value is going to be so high and you're doing so many deals that are so profitable, people are going to throw money at you. Eventually, you might come to the point where someone's going to be like, oh, this deal makes $30,000. I'll give you $10,000. Just give it to me and don't even waste your time with it. And you'll be like, all right, give me $10K and you can take this deal. And I don't have to watch the remodel. I don't got to split the money. I don't get the loan. I don't got to find the cash. And you're like, you know what? I don't care about the other 5K. Let me just flip this deal, make my 10K and find another one. Because I know one dude that flips 60 deals a year.
Yeah.
And he makes $600,000 a year just flipping the contract.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I'm not too sure if what's this guy's name? There's some guy out of Miami. He's with like the Real Empire. I'm not too sure. But it's like a very big business, assigning contracts, wholesaling, right?
There's in Miami, there's in Tampa, there's all over the world.
There's a big guy. There's a big guy, Rafael Vargas. You ever heard of him?
I've heard.
You've heard of him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's there in Florida.
I mean, unless you find me a deal, no offense, it doesn't make much difference to me because I've met so many people in the business,
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
Yo, if you find me a deal, you'll mean a lot more to me than any of them do.
Yeah.
It's like
complete. Yeah. Do you buy here in San Antonio or you stick to strictly Florida?
I stick to my area because I actually want to hold it.
Okay.
I'm really trying to hold these deals because I have a lot of faith in the Tampa Bay market for the next 10, 20, 30 years.
Well, good stuff, man. Well, I'm not too. So you live in Tampa?
In the Tampa market. I live by Clearwater.
I'm not familiar with Florida at all.
Like Clearwater Beach, it's like the #1 nicest beach in the country. It's rated #1 nicest beach in the country.
Yeah. I plan on going to Miami or Florida, sometime hopefully next year or so. So, I mean, maybe move down there. I've heard that Florida's a good market. And I mean,
Texas is a good market too. Arizona's a good market too.
Yeah, they're all good markets, but I mean, I'd like to explore, right, and see which one's best for me, But yeah, man, we'll be in contact. You know what I mean? So
cheers.
We'll keep in contact and go from there, and I'll check out some of your stuff. All right, man.
Sounds good. Have a great day.
Peace out.
All right, great call. All right, let's see. Go on to the next person requesting to go live. Hello.
How you doing, man?
Doing good. How are you?
Great, man. I'm a CPA from the state of Florida, and I'm about to close on my first real estate deal next month.
Awesome.
It's a single family home on a double lot, and I don't know what to do with that second lot. I can either, and I pay cash for the deal.
Okay.
$110,000 property, all cash. And I don't know if I should flip the single family house, build on the double lot. I've got some options here, and I'm just kind of trying to pick your brain to see.
So you paid $110 for the property.
Correct.
What is the single family home on with that one lot, and how much is the separate lot worth?
The separate lot is probably worth $20,000 or $30,000 if I subdivide it.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's renting for $875.
Just the lot?
No, that's not a lot because the house needs work. House it needs probably a good 20, 30 grand of work.
That the house is 875. Okay.
Yeah, if I put 20, 30 grand of work, I can probably get $1,200 rent.
What area is it in?
I'm in Tallahassee in Midtown, Levy Park.
Okay. Okay. And then how much is the lot worth?
I think that lot is for 20 or 30 grand.
And how much is the house worth remodeled?
Remodeled?
Yeah.
I could probably get close to 200 a foot remodeled, but I'd have to spend 50 or 60 grand.
Wow. And so you bought 110, you sell the lot for 20K, you're in for 90K, so the house is now 90K, you spend 50K, you're in one for 140, and what would you sell the house for?
200.
200. Sounds like you should flip it.
Okay. And sell the other lot. Not do anything. Don't develop a duplex or anything.
Development almost, it takes so much time that your return on investment over time isn't there.
Okay.
It's a lot better for you to buy something, spend 3 to 4 months remodeling it, and moving on.
Okay.
Because
Well,
if you could do 3 to 4 remodels in a year, right? Like the house you have, you put in 50K, you make 40K. If you could do 4 of those a year, you make 120. You build a brand new house and sell it, you're only going to make 30, and it's going to take you a full year.
Okay.
So why wouldn't you do less risk and make 4 times the money?
Right.
Right? I have an accounting firm as well, so I'm speaking to you in numbers because I think you would understand. We appreciate it.
I don't want to take up too much of your time. I just wanted to review the deal with you. And I really appreciate you, and keep up the good work, man. We support you.
Thanks. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Sorry about that, guys. Lots of great questions. If anybody wants to go live and ask questions, feel free. Got a lot of DMs. Give me a second to try to run through them and get to your questions. So we got a question here. How do you do a rehab? Do you get a contractor that does all your deals, or you also put a lot of work to lower costs? I normally hire the subs out myself, so I'm not paying a GC 15 to 30% just to hire them. I usually hire myself. I do focus a lot of energy now on this business, so because I'm doing bigger deals now. I'm doing like my most recent deal is about 1.3 million, so it's worth like my time. But eventually, I will be probably getting a relationship with a general contractor. But I got to find someone that has a reasonable price and that works out for the long term. Griffin says, I watched the video you did on what you learned from the bank. You said the bank is my friend and all these interesting things about Monopoly in a way I never thought about. Yeah, Griffin, the bank is your friend, right? Like if you screw up, like if you gave somebody $100,000 and they screwed up, you're gonna take the house back. Well, of course they're gonna take the house back, but if you give someone $100,000 and they pay you interest and they pay it on time and they take care of you, what are you gonna do as the bank? You're gonna give them more money because you're fine to give them more money because they know they're gonna pay you. The bank's the same way. Yvonne says, okay, cool. Visualize the process, study. Thank you. That's right, Yvonne. Keep it up. Next question says, my college friend lost $11,000 in investment. I said he was overconfident before he stepped into the marketplace. That's correct. You have to study with imaginary money and see what happens. And put it on paper, because if you don't put it on paper, you're going to make believe that you made a smart decision, or you wouldn't have made that bad decision, or you would have made this good decision. But if you put it on paper that you're like, I'm buying at this price right now, and then it goes down, you can't lie to yourself. You would be like, oh man, I would have lost money. Omar Beef says, Pascal, what's up, buddy? Liana says, happy birthday. It's my brother's birthday. It's not my birthday. Next question is, how many times have you refinanced a house and why? I've only refinanced the same property, I'm going to say twice. I haven't done it more than 2 times, just because at that point it doesn't make sense, or normally at that point that property becomes so small in my portfolio that I'll sell it to buy a bigger deal. Like I'll sell a 2-unit property to go buy a 10-unit property. Ambition says, happy birthday, Pascal. It's not my birthday. Sharon Sledgeman Hammer says, happy birthday. It's not my birthday. It's your birthday. All right, guys. This next question is, how much do you put down, and do you practice the BRRRR method? Yes, I do practice the BRRRR method. I'll put down 10% to 30% depending on the deal and the requirements of the financing. Buffum says, thank you for your time. You're welcome. Igor says, do you recommend building a rapport with a specific lender, or do you usually look for the best deal in the market? I usually look for the best deal in the market. If you work up a relationship with a broker is going to go and spend the time to find you the best deal in the market. So, at that point, build a rapport with the broker, because the broker doesn't want to waste his time looking for a deal. Like, honestly, I don't want to waste my time looking for you to deal and you're not buying anything, right? So at that point, I'm not going to keep looking for your deals, because I only get paid if the deal closes. So the broker's going to want to make sure your deal closes, because otherwise they just spent all this time and not even got paid. The number one David says, are you gay? No, I'm not gay. Griffin says, how do you know what's the best bank to pick for these days? Normally, if you go to a broker, they will find the best deal for you. This comment says, thanks for the great content. You're welcome. Bethlehem says, when you sell the property, do you sell it on loan or only to full cash buyers? So how it works is, say I sell a property. It doesn't matter if I have a loan, doesn't matter if it's paid off. Normally, that person is going to buy it from me and they're getting a loan from the bank. So they're going to put down, say, 20%. They're going to buy it for $100,000. They put down $20,000, and the bank is going to partner with them and put down the other $80,000. So that the total then becomes $100,000. I get that 100, and then that person owns the property, and the bank has a lien for $80,000 on the property. So that person still owns the property fully, but the bank has a lien for $80,000, which says if you don't pay the bank their payments, the bank can go and take it and sell it to someone else to get their money back. Taylor says, for tax purposes, do you form more than one company for each real estate purchase? If yes, what are the benefits of doing so? I don't really I form like one for like every 3 properties. And it's not for tax purposes, it's for liability purposes. So if you get sued, you're only exposing 3 properties out of the 20 you own. Otherwise, if you have all 20 under your name, ignoring tax purposes, right? I have an accounting firm, I can figure out a way for you to save money on your taxes. There's lots of rules to save money for you. But if you get sued and all of them are under your name, all 20 a lawyer can go and attack and try to take all 20 from you from a reason that they're suing you. So you have different LLCs or incorporations to put barriers between your assets and the people suing you. And how much time you should repay the loan to know that you have sufficient funds to repay. So in America, normally it's like a 15-year or 30-year loan. So you have 15 years to 30 years to repay that loan. Sometimes in like Canada and other countries, you have like a 5-year period, and then after that 5-year period, you have to refinance and get a new loan. Normally, when I do a 30-year loan, and I've always done like a 25-year or 30-year loan, When I do those loans, I don't plan to ever repay them. I plan to make the minimum payment, keep all the cash difference, and then use any additional cash that I save and make from the rent to then go buy another property. Because the interest rate that I owe is so little, that interest isn't worth paying off. It's worth me finding another property because that property is going to go up faster than the interest rate I currently own on my loans. Smart business. So you don't have much time, guys, just so you know. So it might shut off, just so you're aware. I don't have a timer anymore. They used to give me, like IG used to have a timer that says, 2 minutes left, and I could say something. I do not know anymore. So if it just automatically shuts off, we hit our hour mark. Next question. Hey, what's up, DJ? Next question is, what are the thoughts on property managers? Have you seen them before? Don't hear too many good things about them. Property managers are like any other person in any other industry. Some are good, some are bad, and it is your responsibility to interview them to see who is going to be able to do the job. And if you don't feel they're doing a good job, you basically fire them and get another one. How do you know how much your ARV will be? So that means, if you don't know that answer, that means you haven't done enough research in that market. You should be able to know what your ARV is. ARV is after renovation value. What you're going to do is you're going to go on Zillow, and you're going to find property that sold in that area in the last 3 months that's remodeled. Right? ARV after renovation value. That is remodeled. Excuse me. That gives you your ARV. At that point, you're going to be acting like an appraiser. The person that's going to be appraising the property for the bank, they're going to go and check what was sold in the last 3 months within a 1 or 2 mile radius. You're going to be doing the same thing. And then you're going to know what the bank will value the property. How old were you when you first started real estate? I was 19 years old. That's when I started buying real estate with my own money. I started working and doing like physical labor work in the real estate field when I was 14. Fur says, please teach me. I teach everybody on my IG account. I'm here to make sure that you guys do better than I did when I started, if you guys make less mistakes and more profit. You must watch the videos I'm posting. They are going to teach you a bunch of little nuggets, and each thing is going to teach you to become better and stronger. Watch all the videos. You would not believe how many DMs I get from people that ask me very, very basic questions. And to me, I've been doing this forever, it's like asking me to explain the alphabet. I'm putting up these videos to teach you the alphabet. What you need to do is come back and ask me on the live events technical questions like the ones I've been asked tonight when people go live. And if you don't have those technical questions yet, come join the live and listen to other people's questions and the answers I'm giving, and you're going to build that knowledge. But again, people don't have time to teach you the alphabet. So, watch all the videos on IG. I got a ton on YouTube, a lot. Please go subscribe. Refer your friends to subscribe. Watch the videos. Leave comments. Please like it. I appreciate that. I do see the comments and I do see the likes, and I appreciate it. It encourages me to do more. Says, thanks for your answering my question. I thought you are in Marion. I thought you were in Maryland. No, up in Florida. Powell says, your new place is looking good. Thanks, buddy. Putting a lot of energy into it. Says, God will reward you abundantly for doing this for people. I appreciate you. I believe in God. God's been very good to me. I came from an extremely low place, as many of you probably have, and he has helped me work my way up and to the point where I am today. So I'm very thankful, and thank you. Let him talk first, kid. Don't know what that means, but all right.